Alright, Shalom Akim. Before I start this video, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash. Alright, I'd also like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. I'd also like to give a sincere salutations out there to you, Akim, to the Doc and after teaching this word in sincerity and in faith. To you, I say Shalom. I'd also like to give a sincere Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, you sincere Akim and Akwath that watch our videos. Alright, now these video episodes go out to the 12 tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the Most High chosen people, according to the scriptures, all right? And the name of our power is Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus or Jesus the Christ, all right? The name Yahweh means he exists, the existing one, ancient of days. And the name Yahweh Shai means he who saves or he who delivers, all right? He's the Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, coming back to destroy America and various other parts of the world, to send a sword and bring mass death and to establish the kingdom of heaven. Okay, now today's lesson is going to be about how divided Esau Edom really is against itself, and how their two separate governments might be starting beef with each other sooner than we think, man. You know, sedition among men. All right, so let's watch this video from Dabu7.
This is Dabu7. An update and a heads up here if you're not aware of what's going on in Texas, as the governor there, Greg Abbott, stepping up, making a stand for the people here in this instance. And although things are not perfect in every state, some states do have it better than others in terms of freedoms, rights, and liberties at this moment and moving forward. Texas, as they say, and as Abbott says, is open 100%, and says the Texans should have the freedom to go where they want to go without any limits, without any restrictions or requirements. So he put this out in a tweet before signing the bill and stating that this prohibits any business or government entity from requiring vaccine passports or any vaccine information. So this is a big move. People that like to be able to freely move around and go about their business without being haggled, stopped, harassed, and all these other things throughout this scamdemic, well, they like this. This is why people are fleeing places like New York, Illinois, California, and others for places like Florida, Texas, Tennessee, and places that are standing for freedom. So this is just the latest move here. No governments can require this in Texas, and this is going to hold to be big for them, I guarantee it, for the people, for businesses, and everything else. Where do you stand? Join me during the live streams where I break this down further, going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, only on D-Live, and it's censorship-free. It's where the gloves come off, and it's where we're talking about stuff you ain't never gonna...
Man, I wouldn't be surprised if Esau Edom did some slick shit. Esau Edom did some snake shit, and they release a whole new disease over there in that part of the world. You know, Florida was recently talking about the same thing Texas was, and what did they do? They decided to release a whole be quiet. So like you, they decided to release a whole bunch of GMO mosquitoes over there in that area as soon as they were talking like the same thing as Texas. You know. Newly created beast. You know, Wisdom of Solomon 11:18. Well, I'm going to start from verse 17. For the almighty hand that made the world of matter without form, when it not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions or unknown wild beasts, full of rage, newly created, breathing out either a fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparkles out of their eyes, whereof not only the harm might dispatch them at once, but also the terrible sight utterly destroy them. Be quiet! So like you. All right, so this is one of the scriptures for those GMO mosquitoes released in Florida when they were trying to do the same thing that Texas is doing. So who knows how Esau Edom is gonna react to this, man? You know, Mark 3:24. I'm gonna start from verse 23. And he called on them unto him, and he said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. If a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. If Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end, right? And who is the Bible? Who is Satan? Who is the devil that the scriptures speak of? Esau Edom, man. All right, he's the wicked. All right, and right now he's divided against himself on this jab passport, okay, this vaccination passport, all right, because some of the states and some governments and the federal government wants to mandate the vaccination passport. They want to start looking into the vaccination passport, get it set up digitally, you know. And there's states like Texas and Florida and Tennessee, I will state in the video, that don't want to do that. They're banning it from their states, man. You know, sedition among men. All right, this is also going to cause a lot of protests and a lot of uproars of the people. Okay, Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 4, I believe. No, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which there are uproars of the people in the world, we got Canadians protesting their lockdowns where they live. We got various other countries in the world protesting lockdowns where they live, protesting vaccination passports. And we got them Israelis and Palestinians over there going to war and protesting, and just all hell breaking loose over there in the Middle East. Okay, let's continue on in verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so the times of the highest have plain beginnings, and wonder and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. All right. You know, it's like Ezra 15 and 16. For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, okay? And the course of their actions shall stand in their power, right? And this is a form of sedition among men, okay? Because the king, you know, the kings, the government, the federal governments, and its officials, its advisors, are telling people they might need a vaccination passport, and the princes represent the state government. In this situation, they're talking about, no, you know what? No, we're banning all federal government vaccine passport. Anyone that tries to do it here is not going to have no effect, and you won't be able to need to show proof of vaccination or a federal or a Salaki or a digital vaccination passport, okay? Because we want to exercise freedom and, you know, all this other bullshit, because they believe that Babylon's going back to normal, which, you know, Jeremiah 51st chapter clearly explains how it's not. Okay, continue on to verse 16. And of course their actions shall stand in their power. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because they don't have that vaccination passport. You know, Texas and those other states might not require you to, but you try to go to a different state, they're going to be like, you got your proof of your vaccination through the vaccine passport and or that card, the government card they give you when you get it. You can't show that, you're not going to be able to enter into the city, all right? Which ultimately, this is an unrighteous decree from the kings of this world, okay? But Yahweh Shem Yahshai is putting it on their spirit to do that, to make prophecy work faster, okay? Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but Yahweh Shem Yahshai pondereth the hearts, you know? Proverbs 20:24, man's goings are of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Therefore, how can a man understand his own way? Okay, this is an unrighteous decree nonetheless. Esau Edom will pay for that, okay? Isaiah 10, Salakia. Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Right, man. This is an unrighteous decree, and they're trying to rob you of your basic human freedoms, okay? Not even your rights, because we have no rights over here in America, but of your basic human freedoms to be able to go out and buy and sell and just be able to be out and participate in the world, use the world, but not so much as abuse it, First Corinthians, okay? You know, Psalms 10, and I believe verse 7, okay? His mouth is full of cursing and deceit, and fraud under his tongue is mischief and vanity, right, man? Esau Edom makes it seem like this vaccination and this vaccine passport is all for the benefit for you. It's all good for you. In reality, he's all setting you up for failure, man. He's setting you up for something much worse with that vaccination, all right? Sirach 12:10, never trust thy enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, all right? Continue on in verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and he humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his heart, the Most High hath forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it, right, man? Because truth be told, Esau Edom don't even believe in the Most High, man. He believes in his science, which he uses to make the world believe that he is the Most High, pursuing the 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, that is worshipped, so that he as God, to in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. All right. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know that what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he now will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Ha'adawan shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. I believe the spirit of his mouth is the truth, all right? Starting with the prophets, yeah, that's starting with the truth, man. Because the spirit of his mouth is wisdom, all right? And wisdom is bestowed upon the men of the Lord, the prophets. And we go and we pray and we prophesy and we preach unto the gospel, unto the highways and hedges, and unto the wind, man, as our Lord commanded us to do, all right? And this truth is eating away at Esau, man. That's why he's going so hard banning our videos. That's why he's going so hard with the fact checkers on Instagram and on these various social media platforms, because he doesn't want the truth to get out there. Yet Esau Edom constantly tells on himself, Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. All right? Esau Edom always telling on himself, revealing his own iniquity, revealing his own treacherous plans. All right? Micah chapter 2, verse 1, going back to this whole vaccination passport. They're making this whole thing for you to get used to martial law, and for you to get used to having that chip to be able to go places. That's why they're making the vaccination passport digital, because that chip is going to be digital. They're trying to get used to having to show digital proof of you having something to be able to go buy, sell, and do as you please in these various places. All right, Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. All right, and I would give Revelations the 13th chapter, but that most of my videos have been getting taken down when I bring up that Esau's New World Order system. All right, so I'm going to end the video here through the Spirit. As always, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, Abba, DTA. Until next time I say, Shalom.